Alright, what's up guys? So I thought I'd take this video to explain why market size matters and why it matters a lot. It's not the only factor that matters in having a successful startup, but it certainly is a very important and integral factor into success. And initially I wanted to just make this video my entire story on how I came from looks maxing to starting this startup with Face IQ and the rest of our co-founders. But I think it would be too long of a video to cram into one place. So I'm gonna maybe do this as one section that contributed to our success in our startup and just in general, why market size is important for startup success. And then other videos, I'll probably explain more of the specific application to our startup and other factors that might go into starting a successful business. When you're trying to build a startup that scales, you need to look at the market size you're going into. You need to analyze the potential of the market you're going into, and potential can be measured a few ways. One metric I'll just discuss in this video is the total attainable market, which is the total amount of customers that you could attain in that market. It doesn't mean that you will obtain them, but it just needs to be a big enough market so that it's hypothetically possible for you to obtain a large portion of it, right? And the reason this matters is because you're going to be dumping a lot of effort into building a startup anyway. It doesn't matter if the market is small or large. If any of you have had a restaurant business or your family has had one, it is hard work. It's probably more hard work than starting a SaaS, right? It's a lot of hard work, grueling hours. So why not work more efficiently or start more efficiently by understanding the market you're going into if you're going to be dumping in that effort? It's like if you guys have ever played a video game, right? I used to play Destiny 1 professionally and a little bit of Destiny 2 as well, but that game sucked, so I just quit like the first 2 months. But nonetheless, if there was an item you wanted to farm or like a goal you wanted to achieve, right? You could take the most efficient route of farming, like through exploits, or just it could either be an exploit or it could just be the most efficient route available, or you could take the harder route and farm the more tedious way. It's up to you to understand which is which, right? If you don't do your research and understand what's the most efficient route, like you're searching Google, the wikis of Destiny or whatever, if you don't understand what's the most efficient route, you may end up taking the least efficient route, and that's your fault, not the fault of the system, right? You should farm money the same way you'd farm for something in a game, farm more efficiently, right? So just take the more efficient route. It's not some unfair thing where, oh, how is this person putting in so much effort into his restaurant, he's not making millions of dollars per month, but this person is putting in the same effort or even less, and he's making much more. That's not the fault of the system. It's not like some unfair thing. Business is part of it is understanding like efficiency and what you're even getting into in the first place. It's not like granted to you how much money you'll make and what scale you'll get to. You need to understand that beforehand, right? And you can do this like quantitatively. You can analyze the market, or you can just understand it conceptually. It's probably better to do it quantitatively, but you don't need to do that when you start. When you start, you should just understand the potential of what you're getting into, right? Additionally, you can always grow the market, but it's a lot more difficult to grow a market than to just get into one that's already large. Like for instance, with Destiny, I'll give you guys an example, right? Destiny was a pretty popular game, but it wasn't extremely popular, and the competitive scene also wasn't that large, and it didn't have much of a prize pool, as opposed to Fortnite, which had an immense prize pool, probably millions of times larger than that of Destiny. I could have dumped all my effort into becoming a exceptional top 10, which I was at one point top 10 Destiny player in the world, at least in certain game modes. I dumped a lot of time, thousands of hours. I could have dumped that same amount of hours into Fortnite and I don't know if I would have been as good, but I certainly would have made more money than I did in Destiny, right? So that's the idea, right? Destiny is a smaller market, Fortnite was a much larger market. You can put the same effort into Destiny and get a million times less of the result. It's not fair in that sense, but it is fair in the sense that you should know what game you're playing, right? And you can try to grow the Destiny market through whatever, content or some people have so much gravity that they can grow a market just based on what they're building or what they're doing, right? But that's not usually the case, so I wouldn't rely too heavily on that. It's better just to join a market that's already large or already growing than to be the one that has to grow it yourself, if that makes sense. So in summary, if you take away one thing from this video, it's farm money more efficiently. And part of farming more efficiently is understanding the game that you're playing, understanding the quickest path to your goal. If your goal is to make money, that doesn't have to be your goal. But if your goal is to make money, like your goal in a game would be to achieve and unlock this weapon or this item, right? Then you have to understand the quickest path to that goal. But if your goal is not necessarily to make money, or that's just like a more peripheral goal, then of course you can take a different approach. And that's not my goal entirely either. Now, this isn't the only method to farm more efficiently or reach your goals more efficiently. It's also the rate at which you do something that's important. The surrounding technology matters. Like, for instance, if you have access to the current AI set of tools and you don't use them, then you're not farming as efficiently as possible, right? So taking the quickest route is not only understanding the game you're playing. Like, if I had to analogize it, right, going into the right game would be analogous to going into Fortnite, going into the bigger market, the bigger game where your effort will yield the greater potential. But that doesn't count the other factor, which is actually putting in the effort. So in terms of actually having the effort, you have multipliers that can also make your effort more efficient, like tools, for instance. AI can make it more efficient. If you're not leveraging the current AI set of tools, which most people are using AI, but they're even within AI, even if they're using it, they're not using it as efficiently as possible. So that's another thing. Of course, diligence matters. Like, even if you were farming in a video game, if you're not farming 16 hours plus a day, which I was at some points when playing Destiny, and even when I was younger, I would play video games all the time, and I would just, bro, I can't believe there was this one game. If you guys know this game, you're a real OG, bro. It's called Adventure Quest Worlds. It's just a basic MMORPG game, and dude, that game is just monotonous farming. Like, you would just click buttons on your keyboard, 2, 3, 4, 5, to hit like abilities, and it was just so monotonous. You just keep clicking over and over to kill a boss with a giant amount of HP, and I would just do that for like 16 hours straight, bro. I don't even know how I did that. It was insane. But that's the type of effort you have to put towards something as well. And sometimes it doesn't even feel like effort, like in the game. It did get monotonous and tedious at times, but most of the time I would just have my eye on the goal. So I was like craving the goal such that during the process of working, it didn't really feel like work, because every little milestone you'd hit is like more dopamine that you're getting closer to the goal. That's honestly how you should feel about business as well. It's literally no different. The only difference is you have to physically and like mentally exert yourself, but it's no different. Even in the game, I would mentally exert myself. It's just a simulated environment. So it's literally no different. People that say it's like making money is like a game, it literally is. It literally is. It's just a different setting, if that makes sense. Like, you actually have to put in physical exertion. It's probably more mental exertion, yes. It requires more specialized skills. But even within a game, you have to learn about the game you're playing in the world, and like the specific like methods to use your abilities. Like, you have to specialize yourself and understand and have domain knowledge even in the game that you play, right? You can't just pick up another random game and be like really, really good at that. You have to pick up domain knowledge. Same with a business, so you need domain knowledge. And I'll make a video on domain knowledge in another one, why that's super important as well. But yeah, it's like everything can be analogized to a game, right? It's like the best items can help you farm quicker because they do more damage, they make you farm more efficiently. Likewise, you surround yourself with the best team or the best tools, and they can help you get to your goal more efficiently. You have to, of course, put in the hours, you have to be diligent. And I've been told pretty much my entire time since I've been building apps and even Face IQ Labs, bro, you're going to burn out. Like, even my parents have told me this, you're going to burn out. Even my business partners, like, you're going to burn out working so much. I don't burn out. I literally do not burn out. I could work, I'm not even joking, 24 hours straight. If I have the goal to hit the milestone, like in a video game, where I have the goal and I really want to get this thing, I don't burn out because I actually want that thing. And not getting it would be more of a letdown than just working that 24 hours and being exhausted. I don't think you'd understand it if you didn't play video games or you haven't actually started a business. You wouldn't understand what it's like to want something like that bad, right?
Flames to dust. Why do all good things come to an end? Flames to dust. Why do all good things